Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. I thought I would just pop on here real quick, do a little whisper ramble, life update per usual. I think I might hear one of my kids getting up right now, so this might be extremely short. But I wanted to pop on here regardless. The most pressing thing, I guess, not the most pressing, but what currently just happened, the area we lived in, we were in a tornado warning. My husband, if you've seen any of my other videos, he's a truck driver. He's out, not anywhere near us right now. So it's just me and my children and our animals. And I've lived in like the Midwest my entire life. So tornadoes aren't really anything new to me, but it was either I was the child or I was by myself, and now I have children. So I was like kind of bugging out. It was pretty short. It was only about 30 or 40 minutes we were in the warning. I was keeping an extremely close eye on it the entire time. My children were napping. And we have a basement. We have a big basement. That's where my bedroom's at. My kids' rooms are upstairs. Hello, fat cat. And so I kept an extremely close eye on it. Was going which direction it was going. I was going to like every possible outlet, news outlet, to keep up with it. And I was watching all these different meteorologists talk about it and everything. Hello, fat cat. Here's Patty. He's just wanting some love. Every time I'm doing something, that's when he wants it. I was also talking to my neighbor across the street. She has a 2-year-old, and her grandmother was visiting them. So I was like, girl, if you, because they have a basement, she said it's packed full of stuff, but I was like, girl, if you need to like run over here, you grab your kid, I'll run over, grab your grandma, we'll be back, because she literally just lives across the street. Like, you'll be over here in about 8 seconds. I got a couple umbrellas, I'll go barefoot, I don't care, we gotta do what you gotta do. It is past us now, thank God. It's way east. We are still just in like a flash flood warning, which, I mean, it's still not good, but just where our house is situated, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Knock on wood, because if it is, that's not going to be great. But the tornado warning is been expired for a little while now, so thank God. This is probably going to make me sound like a horrible mother. The only reason I didn't immediately take my children downstairs is because they were both napping, and I knew if I picked their little asses up, it would wake them up. The sirens went off for just a few minutes and they slept through it, so I was like, okay. Because my thought was, if they wake up to the sirens, I'm going to pick them up and I'm going to, take them downstairs. We have a TV downstairs. I have toys for them downstairs. My bed's downstairs. We have a couch and chairs and all that stuff. Most of the stuff we have upstairs, we have downstairs besides the kitchen. We even have a bathroom down there. So it's not like we would just be sitting in like some sad little dank cellar at the house we used to live in. It was literally a dirt floor cellar, and I never once went down there. That shit was so scary. I was not gonna go down there. But here, our basement's like an actual finished livable basement, I was actually down there taking a shower when I came back upstairs and I got the alert on my phone, and I was like, oh man. Anyways, though, everybody's safe. There's no damage to like our house or our vehicles. I do hear that there's a lot of damage around town, like fallen trees, not like a ton of property damage. But they said it was a pretty big tornado. I don't really necessarily want to say where I live, but I live in the Kansas City metro. And they said that it had hit both stadiums. I don't know to like what extent. I don't know if there was like damage to the Royals and the Chiefs stadiums because they're like back to back. I didn't know that until I lived here. Like the stadiums are literally right next to each other, like walking distance. I heard it hit there, and anyways, I went way east now. It's like 40 minutes away from us. But it's spooky when you're a parent and you're wanting to make sure that your kids are safe and okay, but everybody's safe, everybody's okay. I was striked to run at any point. I was never more than like 4 feet from their doors. My poor dog, though, one of them, only one. We have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and my one dog was freaking out. He does not like thunder, he doesn't like lightning, he didn't like the sirens, but he's a little more chilling out. You could probably hear the thunder right now. It's not as loud as it was a little bit ago, but he's shaking. Oh, that one was kind of loud. He's shaking just a little bit, but he's doing better. He was like trying to crawl inside my skin earlier. He does not do storms very well. And like it doesn't matter. Like normally when it's storming bad, I'll have him sit on me and I'll wrap a blanket around his ears and like his whole body, and I'll sit with him, and I turned the TV on to kind of like mask the noise of all of that. I had the Price is Right on, just a simple, easy thing to put on, you know, and it's like a kind of a loud show, you know, woo, yeah, spin the wheel, blinko, whatever. Fat cat wants my attention again. Oh, I do hear one of my kids. Anyways, obviously the TV is still on, but it's muted because I'm making a video. But that was what was happening just currently right now. The only other things going on in my life, this next bit's kind of sad. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it. I may have to finish this video later. But my oldest son, I have 2 kiddos, 2 toddlers. My oldest son's turning 3 on Friday. His birthday's on Friday and his party is on Saturday, that very next day. And so I got all this stuff for him. You know, I'm gonna make him a cake and ice cream on his birthday. And I got all of his presents wrapped and ready to go. And I'm, you know, just geared up for it. I have all the decorations. And then that next day, his party, I got all sorts of like a luau party decorations. It's gonna be like a little outdoor kiddie pool, you know, water fun type party. And we're just gonna order some pizzas, and I was gonna make some banana chocolate chip cupcakes. And I was really excited for it, you know. My husband called me yesterday, and they are sending him to California. So he'll be gone this weekend. He's home nearly every weekend. But of course, the weekend of his son's 3rd birthday, they're like, well, you're going to California. So he's gonna have to miss our son's actual birthday and party, and then he won't be home again until next weekend. And that kind of sucks because next weekend is the weekend before we are going back to my family's house for about 4 or 5 days, and he needs to change the timing belt on our van. We bought an older van and it still runs pretty good, but he said just to be safe, he wanted to change the timing belt on it just before we went. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And he was gonna have 2 weekends to do it. Now he just has the one. He also wants to change the oil, but he needs to buy new jack stands for that. And I'm like, honey, let's just pay somebody $30 to change it for us. You know, let's just take that B to Walmart. But he's like, I'm already gonna be changing the timing belt. I might as well do this. I might as well do that. And we still have to buy like the timing belt kit or whatever it is that he wants to do. So I asked him, I was like, is this gonna, like, are we gonna need to push the trip back a couple of days? Like, we're gonna have to cut a few days off of the vacation. He said no. He should be able to get it done in half a day. But he said he'll work all day, all night if he has to make it happen. So, and I told him, I was like, well, I don't want you to do that. And I don't want you to rush or anything. I want, you know, this is your first time doing this, so we need to make sure it's gonna be done right. But he assured me that it'll be fine. needs to stop like every 2 or 3 hours, stretch, get something to eat, use the bathroom, whatever. My dad's 62, so he's not exactly a spring chicken. So that's kind of sad, but I'm not, it's not going to bother my kids, obviously, because they don't understand it yet. So, I feel like I gotta sneeze. So, I'm going to try to not let it bother me. I'm just going to make his day as fun as possible. On his actual birthday, I'm going to take him to the mall. They have like this little indoor toddler area, and no one ever goes to the mall anymore, so we're like the only ones there. And my kids have like a lot of fun. They'll play for like a solid hour. It's like a soft play kind of thing. So I figured we would do that, and I would stop by Great American Cookies. It's in the mall. And I would stop there on the way out, get him a cookie, pick him up something tasty for lunch, come home, feed him, and then depending on like how tired he is and what time he wakes up that day, I figured we would do presents after lunch. I was either thinking after lunch or before dinner, and like my youngest doesn't necessarily need to be awake for my oldest opening presents because they're both teeny tiny, so we'll just kind of see it as it comes. My husband's gonna video call us, and so I'll ask him that day, like, would this time be better, or would it be better in like a couple hours? So we're gonna play that by ear, and then I don't know yet what we're gonna do for dinner on his birthday. He does really like pizza, but we're getting that the next day, and I just don't want to do pizza 2 days in a row. So I mean, there's plenty of stuff he likes, so I'll figure it out, and then a lot of the stuff he's going to get for his birthday is stuff that we're going to play with all day Saturday. Friday, there is another chance of rain. It's been raining a ton here. It's just, at the beginning of summer, it's that time of year. It just rains for like a solid 4 weeks. And then that's all, the whole rain, that's all you get all year is like those 4 weeks of like torrential rain. I lived in a smaller town in Kansas for a few years, and I swear to God, for 2 weeks, day and night, it didn't stop raining once. Everywhere was like flooded. The little creek was absolutely like way above where it normally is, but then it didn't rain the rest of the year. And that's just, it's that time of year where it's raining a whole bunch, so. Lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, anyways, there's a chance of rain Friday morning, kind of into the afternoon. Evening should be good, I think. It went from raining all day to not raining at all to now that there's a chance of rain. But Saturday still looks clear. It's supposed to be like 83 and sunny, plenty warm to get back outside and play. On the days it hasn't been raining, it's been nice and warm. So we've been outside playing we bought him a sprinkler. And they had like a little splash pad that we've been playing with, having a lot of fun. So if it's just going to be, me and my kids, and then the lady across the street and her kid, and maybe because she lives with her mother, and she's welcome to come over too. It's just going to be like a couple of adults and a couple of kids. So I figured, because I bought my son this like 11-foot long activity center. Like there's a splash pad and an archway and like a little volcano thing. You press on it and it shoots up. I bought him like a bubble gun, a whole bunch of stuff to play with outside that him and his brother and his buddy across the street can all play with. So it should still be a lot of fun, and I'll have some really yummy cupcakes, and we're gonna have some tasty pizza, and it should still just be like and I plan on taking him outside like all day. I kind of want him to nap on Saturday. I would like him to nap both days, but he napped yesterday and today, so I'm not gonna assume he's gonna nap the rest of the week because typically he doesn't. I've gotten extremely lucky so far. Anyways, though, yeah, I plan on just letting him. I bought sunscreen too. Don't worry, I'm pale as a ghost. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but like my stomach, I guess it's not gonna be seen in the sun anyways because I bought a cute little swim dress from Sam's. Although it's kind of tight, so I just look like a 6-foot tall toddler. And then my youngest is in a swim diaper, and my oldest has a little pair of trunks that have flames on them. They're black with flames at the bottom. They're really cute. But I got some nice, good sunscreen because I burn real bad, and those pale little boys are gonna burn just as bad. So I'm gonna sunscreen them up real good, and I have some aloe in the fridge already because I've already gotten burned once this year. I was outside for about 30 minutes, and I got a nasty burn on my chest and my shoulders and my back, and it was itchy, peeled right off. Not fun. But I got some nice cold aloe, so even though they're gonna have sunscreen, I'm gonna aloe those little boys up before bed. But yeah, Saturday is just gonna be all day playing, only stopping to, eat and go potty. And maybe take a nap. My youngest still naps every single day, so I know that he's gonna be bone tired, which is great. I want him to sleep nice and hard. I guess that's pretty much all I have to update on. I haven't done a lot recently. I've been kind of like deep cleaning my house. I did there for what this is. Sorry to the gentleman watching, this might gross you out. My period was late by 4 days. I missed my entire period. And I was kind of bugging out, and I was like, man, there's no way I'm pregnant. Like, there's just no way. So I had my husband, because he was home this last week, and I was like, hey, babe, my period's late by 4 days. And he was like, there's no way you're pregnant. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought there's no way I was pregnant. But apparently, something must have happened, So he swung by Walgreens and got me 2 pregnancy tests. So I peed on the first one, and it was a faulty test. So I was like, well, thank God he got me a 2-pack, right? So I peed on the second one, and it came back negative, and I was like, okay, cool. It's negative, but my period's still late, and I felt fine. Like, I didn't feel like I was pregnant, you know what I mean? When I was pregnant both times with both of our boys, I knew in 2 weeks, both times, partly because my period was late, but then also I just had certain symptoms that were exactly the same for both of them, and I didn't feel that way at all. And I know every pregnancy is different, but I'm 2 for 2 so far. So I ended up getting it that next day, that next morning. So I was like, okay, well, wasted $6, but whatever, But we were sitting out here arguing about baby names, because we decided if we were gonna have, and I decided this before I even had our first son. I was like, if we have a little girl, I want to name her Penelope. That's like, I think it's such a cute little girl name. Nobody in my family's named that. I hate naming kids after people. I really hate it. But my husband's all about it. He thinks everybody should be named after everybody. So our oldest son has the exact same name as his grandfather, first, middle, last. He's first, middle, last, the second. That's literally what it says on his social security card. Our second son is not named after anybody. He's got kind of a goofy name because we fought and fought and fought the entire pregnancy for what we were going to name this boy. And we did all that fighting, and we just call him Gibby. That's his nickname. We just call him Gibby, which is nothing close to his real name. Silly. But we had decided Penelope was the girl name. And then my dad was like, if you don't name your next one after me, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. So I'm like, okay. But get this. So my dad, he has the same middle name as his father did. And then he gave one of my brothers that middle name. And then that brother gave his son, my nephew, that name. So there's 4 generations that have the same middle name. And I was like, Dad, you kind of got that already. You also have 3 sons that you could have named completely after you if you wanted. But apparently it's just not good enough unless I do it. And I was like, because 2 of my brothers each have a son. My sister has a son, and I have 2. My other brother has twin girls. And I was like, Dad, you've had plenty of opportunities to bully somebody into naming their kids after you. Why are you only coming after me? And he's like, man, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm totally my dad's favorite. I'm the baby of the family. He won't outwardly admit it, but I'm totally his favorite. So we decided if we have a boy, it's going to be my dad's name. And I would rather it just be a middle name. And I wanted a little boy, and I want to name him Wesley. I think that's freaking cute, and I want to name him Wesley after the Princess Bride. But my husband hates that name because he knew somebody in high school named Wesley was a prick. So, anyways, we were fighting about baby names only for me to not be with child. But at least we kind of know where we stand, because we planned on trying to get pregnant like next summer, like a year from now, because my dad's birthday is in March. And I was like, well, how cool of it would it be to get pregnant and then name this kid after him if it's a boy around, because my dad's birthday is March 19th. So I'm like, look at that, wouldn't that be just a treat? Even if it's a little girl, they could maybe share a birthday. Annoying. Anyways, that was kind of funny. But the only thing I have coming up after after all of this, my son's birthday on Friday, his party that no one's coming to on Saturday. And then after that, not much for a couple days. I have to go to the DMV, and I have to go get some money from an ATM to pay the guy to mow our lawn. But that's pretty much it. And then next weekend, I will pack, because we're leaving on Monday. It's a long trip, and my husband's family is halfway in between us and my family. So it's like perfect to stop, stretch our legs. They always feed us lunch. And then, like, by the time we're ready to go, it's like nap time for the kids. Pop a binky in my youngest one's mouth. My oldest might fall asleep in the car. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. But then it's 2.5 hours from their house to my parents' house, my dad's house. So it's, a good little nap. Get there, get unloaded, have dinner, hopefully go to bed early. So, we'll see. But we also have to drop our dogs off with my husband's mom. We can't okay, so where we live, it would be like $1,000 or more to board our dogs at a doggy hotel for 4 or 5 days. My cats are fine. I'll just make sure that their litter boxes are nice and clean and they have plenty of food. Can't do that with dogs though. So, we're gonna drop them off at his mom's house, which is just annoying. I hate traveling with the dogs. They don't like the car very much. And it's 3.5 hours to his mom's house, so. But now that we have the van, they'll have, we took the third row seating out. So they're gonna have, the entirety of the back of this van to just chill out and lay down and whatever else. I might take the dog bed and put it back there just for comfort. And because our kids are still little, we have, a lot of stuff to bring. I have to take their crib mattresses. My dad has cribs at his house, and I just bring the mattresses, so I gotta take both of those. Enough clothes for $2 for a week. Their swimsuits, socks, jammies, all that stuff. I have to take both their baby monitors and their different, sippy cups and water bottles and stuff. Then I have to pack for me for a week. I have to pack for my husband for a week. Diapers and stuff for a week. And then once we get there, we're gonna have to go to the store and buy some milk. My dad usually sets us up and he'll buy snacks for the kids and stuff, or he'll just go shopping with us while we're there. But I'm gonna have to get him some milk and some other things when we get there. And there's just a lot to do. And then I think on Tuesday we're gonna do, because we're gonna get there kind of late on Monday, so we might just do it then. But we're gonna have a little birthday celebration for my oldest when we get there. And then, because it's kind of funny, my youngest, my brother's twin girls, and my sister's son were all born in August, which is a little bit funny. My sister-in-law had a son when her and my brother met, and him and the twin girls they had together all share the same birthday, which is crazy. And then mid-August is my sister's son's birthday. The girls are gonna be 3. Her son's gonna be 3. The twin girl's older brother is gonna be 8. My husband's birthday is actually mid-August. He's gonna be 32. And then my youngest son will be 2 on the last day of August, on August 31st. So there's a lot of August birthdays going on, which is kind of funny. So my dad wanted to get one giant cake and write happy birthday, yada 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 yada, with everybody's names on it, which I just thought was really funny because it's fitting. And then my 2 other actually just recently started talking again. It was like 4 months because he pissed me off really bad. So we just stopped talking. Actually, he almost screwed me over really bad. He was supposed to come help me move, and then the day before he canceled on me for a really BS reason. Thankfully, my other brother that lives nearby came and helped, but I hadn't talked to him in 5 years. Not because of anything bad, we just never talked to each other. He's 40 years old and I just turned 26. Like, we just don't know each other very well. I'm the youngest of 7. I have 2 brothers. I have 2 brothers and a sister on my dad's side, 2 sisters on my mom's side, and then myself and my brother share the same parents. And then my parents got divorced again, and